Hi, good evening to all of you. Today, as part of our YouTube discussion on Unacademy platform, I will be discussing this very important essay that was asked this year in the main examination. And the name of the essay is the topic is life is a long journey between human being and being human, being humane. That is what is the topic of the essay. So let us look at this essay. As you can see, in the last 3-4 years, what UPSC has done is it has started focusing on philosophical essays. As I mentioned in my previous discussion also, the objective is to find out from the candidates preparing for the UPSC examination whether they have the kind of attitude and aptitude for them to become successful civil servants. As we always say one thing, if you are a good human being, you can be good anything. You can be a good, you can be a good son or a good daughter. You can be a good citizen. You can be a good student. You can be a good civil servant. You can be a good politician, so on and so forth. But the only thing that is required is for you to be good. And what is this goodness and how that topic can be related is what we are going to discuss now. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me also. You can put all your doubts and I will try to respond to your doubts. So let us start with this essay. Life is a long journey between human being and being human. What is the meaning? If I have to start, I will start with this Sanskrit verse. It says that Durlabho Manushya Deha. That means it is extremely difficult to take the birth of a human being. That is what it says. Why? Because you have billions and billions of species in this world. And what is unique to human being is that it is only the human beings who can attain salvation. What we call it as self-actualization. It is only the human beings, who can. It is only the human beings who can reach the ultimate state of life, what is called self-actualization. This is what it is. And if I were to complete the sentence, what it says is that even demigods always want to take the birth of human being. The next part of the sentence says that after taking birth as a human being, we should never let our life get wasted by running towards materialistic possessions like money, like power, position, name, fame, status. The ultimate journey, that is what exactly that particular sentence also speaks about. The ultimate journey, it says is that the ultimate journey, it says is that human beings should always look to become being humane. That means they should always look towards becoming what we call divine souls. That is what it says. We should never waste our life in pursuing materialistic comforts. That is what it says. Now, proceeding further, let us try to look at the meaning of this. What do you mean by being human? Proceeding further, let us look at what is the essence. What do you mean by being human? So what we are saying is that this is where you start with the Advaita philosophy, which you can find in Bhagavad Gita, which is also mentioned extensively by Shankaracharya, which was also quoted by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, which was also propagated actively by Swami Vivekananda. So what is it that they are talking about? What is the essence of human life that they are talking about? What they say is that as human beings, once we take birth, there are two things in life over which we don't have any control. One is our birth, second one is our death. In between, what we can do is definitely under our control. And what we should do in between is what the essay topic is. In between, what we should do is that we should transform ourselves, ordinary human beings, into divine souls. That is what it is. What does it mean? Let us try to go a little bit deeper. As I said, this is the essence of Advaita philosophy. What it says is that as human beings, we should look inwards, find out what is the essence of our life. And what do we say about the essence of our life? What does it mean? The essence of our life is to attain what we call in Hindu philosophy either self-actualization. That is what we say. It attain moksha, a complete liberation of the soul. Moksha means complete liberation of the soul. That is what it is. But how is it possible? How to attain this self-actualization? How to realize what is called our true identity in this world? This is what Adi Shankaracharya also says. This is what Advaita philosophy also says. It says that we should be able to see God in ourselves. That is the reason why Adi Shankaracharya says, when he speaks about this self-relation, he says that I am God, Aham Brahmasmi. But again, the question here is that what do we mean by I am God? Who is God? In fact, who is God? Everyone can answer, depending on their faith. If you are a Christian, you can say that Jesus Christ is God. If you are a Muslim, you can say that Allah is God. If you are a Hindu, you can say that there are so many of them. But what is God? I am not asking the question who is God, but what is God? What is the definition of God? And that is what is called being human. That is the definition of God. God means selflessness. God means universal unconditional love. God means sacrifice. This is what. Ram had become God because he sacrificed his kingdom for the promise he had made to his father. What is the difference between Ram and Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb was a great emperor. He ruled over the entire subcontinent. And Aurangzeb, he had imprisoned his father to become emperor. He had killed his brothers to become emperor. That is the reason why Aurangzeb remained only emperor, like so many of them in the history of human civilization. On the other hand, if you take Ram, he had sacrificed. He had sacrificed his kingdom. The next day morning, he was about to be coronated as the prince of Ayodhya. But that night, his father calls him and says that you have to go to forest. You have to leave everything, all the comforts and all luxuries, go to forest. That is the reason why you become God. Sacrifice. Take the case of Shiva. He had drank poison. Shiva, he was he drank poison for the sake of the humanity. He drank poison for the sake of humanity, and that is the reason why he could become God again. That is what we say sacrifice. You are sacrificing your comforts, your luxuries. Then only you become God. And you take the case of Jesus Christ again. What did he do? He had sacrificed his life for the sake of others. When he was beaten severely by the Roman soldiers, he had prayed to God that, oh God, please don't punish those people who are causing harm to me because they don't know what they are doing. That is what is called godliness. That is what is called being humane. You become such a good person at heart that you are willing to, you become such a good person at heart that you are willing to, you are willing to pardon, excuse those people who are causing huge amount of damage to your own self. That is when you become God. If you take revenge, you are a normal human being. On the other hand, if you excuse them, if you pardon them, if you pray to God that you don't want them to be punished, that is when you become God. This is what being human. And take the case of Gautam Buddha. He had left his kingdom, all the comforts and luxuries, and he went into forest. He sacrificed everything. That is when he became an enlightened soul. So what is common here? What is common here is that sacrifice, universal and unconditional love, selflessness. These are the qualities, and this is what, as human beings, we should achieve as part of our life journey. Since the beginning of civilization, we have seen great emperors, we have seen richest people, we have seen people like Alexander, Akbar, Aurangzeb. But do we ever worship them? Do we ever speak about them in glowing terms? Obviously not. Why do we worship Jesus Christ or Ram? Why do we worship either Guru Nanak or Shiva? What is common to all of them? They have attained the state of self-actualization. They have realized the essence of life. This is what the essence of life. And then proceeding further, how this can be achieved and how this can be related to, as I said, Advaita philosophy. Let us proceed further. Let us look at these things in a much more deeper manner. What this Advaita philosophy says is that the soul in you is same as the soul in other body. The soul in you is same as the soul in the other body. And this soul is nothing but what we call the divine soul. That is the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means I am the God. That means you must realize that you are, that is what is called self-realization. You must realize that, yes, exactly, because as you mentioned, they never became gods at the time of their birth. All of them have taken birth as human beings, right? What are the examples I have given? Jesus Christ, he took birth as in a cowherd's home, shepherd's home, and he was a normal Jew. But for his actions, he would have been unknown person. But it is his actions that made him God. Take the case of Ram. He took birth as a Kshatriya, in a warrior family, Kshatriya family. And take the case of the Gautam Buddha. Again, he took birth in a Kshatriya family. Right? Take Guru Nanak. What is common to all of them? When they took birth, they were all ordinary, normal human beings. But over a period of time, they started realizing their true potential. As I said, what is the true potential? We are basically gods. Again, continuing with this, as I said, and I'm talking about this Advaita philosophy. Again, continuing with this, when I say that the soul in me is same as the soul in you, which is same as the divine soul. What is the essence of this? What the essence of this means is that what it means is that what it means is that The bodies are different, the soul is the same. That is the reason why Adi Shankaracharya says, the world that we see in front of us is nothing but a myth, which is not true, a fiction, which is not real. What is reality? There is no duality in this world. That is what we call non-duality. What does it mean? It means that the person who is sitting next to me, the person who is sitting in front of me, is not different from me. When both of us are the same, what is the meaning of it? It means that both of us have the same kind of emotions, feelings, sentiments. Everything is the same. If the person next to me is hungry, I feel the hunger of the person, and I would immediately give food to that person. When I am giving food to that person, I do not expect anything in return from him, because it is same as doing it for myself. When I am hungry, what do I do? When I am hungry, I will go and have food. When I go and have food, will I start expecting any reward or award from me, for me, for the great service I have done for myself? Will I ask the government of India to give me at least Padma Shri award for the great work that I have done? That is, when I'm hungry, I have taken food. Obviously not. But what happens when I give food to the other person? I expect something from other person, some kind of gratitude. The other person should come and thank me. Now, when I believe that the other person is also same as mine, then I will not expect anything from the other person. It is just like doing my thing, everything for myself. This is what is called Advaita. You are overcoming in the sense of duality. Why do we have all these emotions and feelings and sentiments? Why do we like people? Why do we hate people? Because we believe that they are different from us. On the other hand, if you take yourself, do you hate yourself? Do you feel fearful about yourself? Do you feel revengeful about yourself? Obviously not. But why do you feel about all these things about others? Why do you have all these negative feelings about others? Why? Because you believe that they are different from you. On the other hand, yes, on the other hand, uh, if you believe that the other person is same as you will not have any negative emotions. That is when you become being human. I gave the example again here. Jesus Christ, when he was beaten by the Roman soldiers, ideally what he should have done, he should have retaliated, he should have hit back, he should have run away from them, he should have cursed them, and he should have given an opportunity, beaten them again. But he did not do any of those things. On the other hand, he suffered those beatings with a smile on his face. Why? Because he retained what is called self-actualization. You are able to show mercy, you are able to show kindness towards even your worst enemies also. That is what we call being human. You are always selfless. You know, you are always selfless in your actions. You don't expect anything in return. For example, when we work, as we study in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there are 5 different kinds of needs. When we work to satisfy our basic needs, or security needs, social needs, self-esteem needs. The highest one is self-actualization. Here you enjoy the work itself. That is what again Lord Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita. A self-actualized person works for the sake of the work itself. And that is why we talk about, when you say being human, it means nishkam karma. Kam means desire. Nishkam means an action without any desire. When you are helping the other person, you are helping the person because you are feeling the pain of the person, and you are not expecting anything in return for what have you done. Neither rewards nor awards, nor recognition, nor power, nor money, nor status. That is what we say being human. You know, you are showing love, you are showing kindness, you are showing, mercy, you are showing compassion, and you are showing helpfulness, you are showing sacrifice. Why? Because you are able to feel the emotions of other person. You know, right? That is what Neeraj, it is human tendency to expect something for what they do. That is what is called human being. That is what exactly I'm saying. It is human tendency to expect. It is human tendency to expect something for what we have done. Again, take your own case only. If you are, if you have any problem with your health, Neeraj, and you take medicine, right? When you take medicine, will you say that I have done a great job? Will you say that I should be rewarded for the great work I have done? Will you say that I should be recognized for what I have done? You don't say all those things because it is what you have done for yourself, right? It is what you have done for yourself. And if you give the same medicine to other person, then immediately expect something from other person. Why? Because you believe that the other person is different from you. That is what is called Dvaita, duality. And that is what Al Shankaracharya says is completely wrong. And he says that as part of non-duality, as part of non-duality, he says that the other person is nothing but your own incarnation. Because the bodies are different, the soul is the same. When the other person either has a problem with his health, the soul within you can easily recognize those problems. It can feel the problem because the soul is the same. And immediately what do? You will go and help other person. By helping other person, you don't expect anything in return. You don't want anything in return because you are only helping yourself. That is what. That is what we say about life. You take birth as a human being with all kinds of human emotions, feelings, sentiments, and desires. And when we die, either we should become being human. That is what I just said Gautam Buddha has achieved. That is what Guru Nanak has done. That is what an ordinary king called Ram could become a god. Now the next question here is how to achieve all those things. You know, so the next question is how to achieve all these things, how to realize these things. Bhagavad Gita speaks about four different ways of achieving this. You know, four different ways. It talks about bhakti yoga, and then karma yoga. It talks about jnana yoga, right? But of all these four yogas, the easiest one is what Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita is karma yoga. That is, perform your duty and do not expect anything in return. If something has to be given, it will be given to you by nature. In fact, when the entire world belongs to you only, when the entire world is your own incarnation, why do you want something else when you are the entire universe? That is what is self-actualization. There is no place we say in this world where God did not exist or God does not exist. And there is no place in this world where you do not exist because you are God. If that is the case, why do you want house? A small house in this entire world. If that is the case, why do you want money? If that is the case, that is what we have to realize. This is what we say at the end of the day. When we come onto this earth, we come with empty hands. We don't have anything. We come with empty hands. We don't come with bank balances. We don't come with huge cars and mansions. We don't come with the power. We come empty-handed. And when we die, that is what exactly. That is what that was realized by Alexander in his entire life journey. Alexander, towards the end of his life, he had asked his people for three different kinds of things to be done when he was after he died, right? And the first thing he wanted all the gold and jewelry that he had. He said that all that gold and jewelry and all kinds of the materialistic wealth he had, it was taken to graveyard. It will come only up to graveyard. After that, your journey is very alone. Nothing will come with you. Then he said that he should be buried with his hand, with his right hand, above the earth, completely empty. Right? Completely empty. Why? Because he wanted to tell the rest of the world that he had spent all his life completely unproductively to acquire more land, more land. And when he died, he needed only 6 feet of land. That is what I say self-actualization. Why do we have to spend so much of our time, so much of our energy, so much of our resources on all those things which are temporary in nature? Take someone like Mahatma Gandhi. He sacrificed everything. That is the reason why he had become Mahatma. Otherwise, Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to be the Prime Minister. That was the reason why he was only Prime Minister. You never call Nehru Mahatma. So, that is what, when you sacrifice, you become divine. Mahatma means divine soul. And this is what the journey of life. And this is what, when we say being human, being able to help others, being able to come to the rescue of others, being able to, pardon others, being able to, feel the pain of others, being able to feel the happiness of others. That is what the journey of our life as a human being. As I mentioned, all of us take birth as human beings, but there are very, very few, maybe 1 in a billion. 1 in a billion is also a big number, who can become what we call being human. Because whenever we do the things, somewhere down the line, that desire is always there. That attachment will be there. We are attached to so many things. Some people are attached to power. Some people are attached to money. Some people are attached to relations. Some people are attached to materialistic possessions, knowing fully well that nothing will come with them when they have to start their final journey. And those who realize that would become, as I said, divine souls. So this is what essentially you have to write as part of this essay. And let me see some of the questions that you have asked here. I think Hemant is asking a question. Is it harmful to be honest and having ethics as a IPS officer? How nowadays many are facing problems. That's why I'm asking. That is what exactly Hemant right now I have said. If Jesus Christ thought that he could take the easy way out and remain silent, he would not have become Jesus Christ. That is what we say. If you want to be honest, you have to face all kinds of problems. Whether you have the kind of inner strength to believe in your honesty and continue with your honesty is what that really defines your life journey. Otherwise, you will become a normal IPS officer. Yes. Yes, right. So that is what you have to remember. You have to make sacrifices. If you are extremely honest, what happens? Your promotions will be stopped. You will be transferred. Be prepared for those things. That is what I said, sacrifice. That is what is required. The moment you want to possess something, you will always remain a human being. The moment you sacrifice everything, you will become being human. Right? Next, and Pratik is asking a question: how to travel, how to tackle this, proverbial essays for CSE mains. Pratik, if you are good with your ethics paper, if you are good with your, philosophies, as I mentioned in my previous discussion on essay also, if you are good with these concepts, we have only half an hour time. That's why I could not explain, more than what I have done. Otherwise, I would be dealing with these things extensively, explaining these philosophies and everything extensively. as part of our discussions on ethics. Definitely I'll be doing those things. Then it will become very, very easy for you to tackle all these kinds of essays. The one thing that you have to remember at the end of the day is, when we talk about life is a long journey, it means that we must overcome, you know, we must overcome desire. Once you overcome desire, as Lord Krishna says, everything becomes very easy in life. Then automatically you become what is called divine soul. Automatically you behave like a being human. That is what we say, right? And Hemant is asking one more question. Uh, Bhagavad Gita and Buddha Charitra can be helpful in writing. See, Hemant, all those things can be helpful provided you are able to understand them. You are able to understand the essence of what is being said there, and more importantly, you are able to connect what is being said there to real life. Essay is all about giving those kind of real life examples. If you can do that, definitely that will be really, really helpful. Then you can really write a very good essays. As I said, ethics paper 250 marks and essay 250 marks, 500 marks if you are able to understand the essence of all these things. Whether it is Bhagavad Gita or Bible or Quran or for that matter Guru Granth Sahib. The essence of all these religious, all these texts is only one thing: sacrifice. I said, ultimately I would end by saying from where we started. What is God? God means universal love, unconditional love, selflessness, and sacrifice. That is what exactly what we mean by being human. If we can do those things, we have achieved our life ambition. That is self-realization, self-actualization. And that is when you attain moksha. That is liberation of the soul. So this is where I think we can end. And I hope this discussion would help you. As we proceed, I will be discussing more of these topics so that you can have more clarity also. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Best of luck.